Hi guys, my name is Demaya Atkins, and today we're going to be discussing the Gender Project as one of the PBL video experiences that we're studying in IDT 3600. What does it consist of? So, this project includes 7th and 8th graders discussing the important differences and factors in their gender roles. The guiding question is, how do we learn to act as men and women? And that's the question that the teachers took and threw out there to the students and allowed them to feed off that to kind of get into the lesson. This project stretched across subjects. In science, it taught reproductive news and genetics. In social studies, it taught gender inequities that has always been taught. Remember, we used to talk about voting rights, how women didn't have their voting rights. It's always been taught and it's always been thrown out there. But now it's to be looked at differently because we're specifically talking about gender roles. Students also study media literacy of photos and movies and analyzing gender differences. Like one student stated that in women pictures that the colors are lighter and brighter, more vibrant. And in men pictures, they have dark pictures with dark colors that makes it manly. Oh, let me get that off there. What do you see? So in the videos, we saw that the teacher were giving students questions to guide them on the path of the lesson and ask for feedback on the questions, which the students would take the time to listen to the questions, write their answers, and then give feedback when it's time. Students were already sitting in groups, so they would kind of gather their answers by themselves, write it on a piece of paper, and then collectively discuss. Most things were printed to be written on, or they would walk up to the board and write it on a sticky note or on the actual board, or they would verbally just discuss. They used magazines as well as book references when they were studying. What do you think about that? The lesson was very effective and caught the student's eye. For one, the lesson kind of had to catch the student's eye because it stretched across so many subjects. So students had to kind of get engaged and kind of understand what was going on in all of the lessons. They could use what they were learning in one class and build off of it in another class. And it kind of made them like it a little more because they weren't learning necessarily new material. They were learning new material, but they weren't learning on a new subject, so to say. So I love the interactive student boards and class discussions, how everyone got along, but I dislike the little amount of time put into the presentation. I feel like the students and the teachers should have went over presenting more so the information could flow off the tongue a little better. And what does it make you wonder? This project made me wonder, what could I use in class as a teacher to get a discussion started? So I started to think about who really has control of America. And this could make students think, if we as people have control, the president, the court, supreme, judicial, legislative courts, voting rights, the Constitution, the list continues of who has control of America. There really be no barriers considering that this would be part of the curriculum in social studies where we talk about voting rights and the courts, the Supreme Court, legislative and judicial, the president, just everybody roles. Once we discuss everyone's roles